back, folks, to another session of Let's Chat with me, Meor Addelan. Now, in today's topic, it is a very interesting topic because it is something so futuristic. It is something that a lot of people may not really care too much about, but they are all around us. Robots help us every day. But the thing is, are they stealing our jobs? Are they taking over the world? In a sense, to discuss more about this particular topic in hand, I do have a very good friend of mine who is a professor down in the Islamic International Islamic University. Ladies and gents, allow me to introduce you, Professor Yasir. Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Assalamualaikum.
Yes, okay. Let's dive into this topic directly right now because, again, it is a funny thing because when you talk about robots, a lot of people would think about Hollywood, Transformers comes to mind, all the science fiction movies, how they portray robots, how big they are, how aggressive they can be. But people may not realize that robots are actually all around us since the better part of maybe 20, 30 years ago, haven't they? They have been around that long, right?
Yeah, that's right. So most of us we normally see robots through movies, and then when you play games, you see robots. And then normally in these movies and video games, robots are normally depicted as something very complex with superior intelligence and then advanced functionalities like Transformers. You can transform from humanoid to animal to cars to jet, right? So very, very advanced robot in movies. And then probably because of this, we tend to underestimate the stuff around us, okay, which could actually be robots. Well, actually, if we look at the definitions of what is robots, scientists and engineers, we call them the roboticists. We somehow, among us, we are also not definitely very clear with the definition of robots. But the standard definition for robots, normally when we talk among scientists and engineers, we would say robots is a machines. It must be machines that can sense and then think and then act. Okay, must sense the environment and then process what it sends and then act upon it. Okay, but these definitions again varies because when you have like flying drones, like the DJI drones that we fly to take photos, people would call it a robot as well. But this robot does not sense, does not think, just accept commands from the remote controller and then flies, right? So scientists tend to disagree on this. Some would call it a robot, some would not call it a robot. But the robot that we have in the industrial lines, the robot arm that moves and assembles stuff, those robots are actually robots that are pre-programmed. They have program inside them, okay, that tells them, okay, go here, pick the stuff, and then put the stuff here, take these tools, and then tighten the tools here. Right. So these robots are also not sensing, really sensing and not really thinking, but scientists tend to agree that they are robots. So these are the discrepancies that we see in the definitions of robots. But anyway, we take these definitions as the lightest definition. We can see that robots are actually around us, like the printer that I have at the back, the 3D printers that you have nowadays, those are robots. And then some would call also the washing machines as robots. Okay, and then you have now the advanced vacuum that can move on its own. Those are definitely robots. And actually what you hold, your phones and your computers, are actually made by robots that we use every day.
Can't robot just be classified as something mechanical that can be programmed to do as what we, their masters, want them to do?
That's right. Normally we would say robots are something mechanical. Okay, but now when we are discussing about policies, especially the government level policies, you cannot stop to only mechanical stuff. Because robots, with AI now, you can actually do many things, like your TV, right? It can speak to you. Is that robots or not robots? The customer service robots, it can speak to you and can answer your question, it can point you to where to go. Is that robots or not robots? We call it the virtual robots. We can actually call it virtual robots.
Yeah, that's the scary bit. That's the one thing that we actually wanted to talk about today because, like as is mentioned in the title, we don't need humans anymore, because again, the advancement of technology, the existence of AI, artificial intelligence, the existence of all of this great stuff also shows that we do not need humans anymore. There was a survey that was done even earlier saying that, within the next 10, 20 years time, some occupations may cease to exist because of the advancements of robots, of AI, of artificial intelligence. Prof,
Yeah.
what do you have to say about that? Are we just staying here just for a short while and we're just going to be gone?
Yeah, I love to give a scenario on this. You see, when we have this MCO, right, the PKP because of the COVID, you see the industry that thrive, okay, is the Grab delivery, the food delivery. These are all done by human now, right? You have your probably brothers, your even uncles who work as Grab delivery or drivers. You see, Grab made a statement a few months ago that they says they are planning to install driverless taxis in Southeast Asia by 2022. And
Not a
imagine
long
what
time,
happened.
isn't it? That's
Yeah,
two
not a
years
long time,
more.
not a long time. Yeah, 2 years. Imagine what happened to the 200 drivers, Grab drivers that registered with the Grab nowadays in Malaysia. Where will they work, right? And then we also have drones. Drones are now being researched to deliver stuff. Okay, what will happen to all these delivery personnel that delivering stuff nowadays if drones take over those jobs, right? So these are a very complex and very important question that especially the government have to look at into. Okay, but again, the word that we always use is the robot does not take the jobs. Okay, robots actually just displace the jobs. We believe that with AI and with all these robots, we would get a new jobs, new form of jobs. Okay, imagine a long time ago, if someone says, say for example, 20 or 30 years ago, if someone says, I want to be a social media marketer. Imagine if your kids tell you that he wants to be in the future, he wants to be a social media promoter or marketer. You say are you sure? Are you out of your mind, right? So we believe that the same thing will happen with AI and robots. Okay, it will open up more jobs in the future. And personally, I hope that we would open up a new industry with this AI and robots. Yeah, because industry, when we look at industry, we normally say industry is for productivity. We have to produce stuff. But I hope to see in the future that robots are being used to service human and also to service the environment. Because
Now,
industries,
reason being, Prof, when we highlight all this matter again, I cannot deny the fact that we've been taught in movies like Terminator, all those
yeah,
kind of movies and everything. Robots will take over the world one day because again, with the advancement of technology, again, like you said, we got voice activated control. We got even voice command, which are able to actually communicate with you. Now that's scary, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Kind of like giving life to robots and trying to make the robot as human as we possibly can. Are
yeah.
we threading along a good line? Your
Yeah.
comment?
Yes. You see, when we talk about IR, especially IR 4.0, what happened is in IR 3.0, right? Robots are there, but robots are not connected. They're not thinking. With IR 4.0, okay, the idea is to have robots interconnected to each other. They can talk to each other, and at the same time, they can think of what to do. Okay, and because of this, we predicted that this will displace a lot of jobs, etc. But yeah, the scary thing would basically be robot taking over the world, right? I hope that it will be far in the future. I don't think it'll be soon because AI is not that advanced yet. But yeah, the impact, as you said just now, is the job displacements. Human have to human have to upskill. We have to upskill. We have to be the one who design and supervise the robots. And hopefully we can design and supervise the robot so that it does not harm the human. Does not affect our livelihood.
Where do Malaysia stand in regards of readiness? Where do you think Malaysia is in regards of embracing IR 4.0 moving forward, Prof?
Okay. Malaysia, okay, the term IR 4.0 was coined in World Economic Forum somewhere in 2016. I remember back right after the forum, right, the government right away asked, okay, university, you have to change your curriculum, you have to put all these element of IR 4.0 in. And then we, as researcher, when we want to apply for grants, you have to put all these terms, IR 4.0. If not, you won't be seen as relevant. So we are ready for the change. We are quick to adapt to the change. And then even our population, our society, okay, Malaysians are ranked 5th in the world as the internet technology penetration in internet technology penetrations. We 75% of our internet users use e-commerce platform, higher than Singapore. And then we use internet banking, and then we use all these internet service, Grabs, etc. So we are quite ready to accept. But my take is that acceptance to technology alone is not enough. Okay? The government have to strategize to develop local talents. Okay, we have to build our innovations and our technology expertise, so that we don't have to rely on foreign expertise. Okay, we can develop on our own. And if because we are a developing nation, if we really have to take experts from outside, I hope that the government can always push for this technology transfer, because our locals have to learn, because we know what is happening in our world, in our country. Okay, when we develop, hopefully we can develop within our local needs and local boundaries. Yep.
One last question I have for you, Prof. Aspiring words to future students out there, or anybody out there who wants to get themselves involved in robotics or artificial intelligence. What would your advice be for all the children or all the teenagers out there who wants to be in this field? Your thoughts, your advice.
Yeah. Okay. The AI and the future is definitely, I would say it is definitely relevant and important in the future. Okay, and I don't think we should limit to only the school kids and the school university students. Everyone have to upskill. Everyone have to think or learn something about AI and robotics. And now would be the good time to start. Now would be the good time to start. I would say start with the normal STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and computer science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Okay, try to upskill in that. But at the same time, we have to also complement this STEM with arts. You have to have some art skill, because in the future, when you want to apply something, arts will have to be there. And also morality or religion is very important. So you have to fuse all this, okay, to become things that you have to master upon, and then hopefully you can do something for the future of our country. In IIM, just to say, in IIM we don't call it STEM, we always call it stream: science, technology, religion or morality, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So we mix all this to become a good engineer. You have to have all this. Then robot will not take over the world, because you have this arts and morality inside when you design.
That is the hope. That's the wish of anyone out there.
Yeah.
Making sure that the world is ours and ours alone.
Yes.
Prof. Yasir from IIUM, thank you so much for coming down to the show. It has definitely opened up, my mind a bit more about understanding what robots are, and we try not letting them take over the world, as you mentioned. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you. Right. So that was Prof. Yasir from IIUM explaining to us, enlightening us about how important it is that we get ourselves geared up with technology and also with the future, in order for us not to be left behind, but also be innovative as well, being able to adapt, being able to, grab the opportunity as much as we can, following the demands of the world. Hope you guys enjoyed this particular edition of Let's Chat. Hope to see you again next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.